Hi everyone, A Loving Soul here. Hope this video finds you well. Master Grade is finally unlocked for Turbo Duels. This is a couple days into the event once Master Grade is unlocked, and I've been picking up Lunalights, having a lot of fun with them. We're just going to showcase the deck list as well as some replays. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is the Lunalight deck that we are running for the Turbo Duel event in order to climb up to the top of Master Tier. Almost the way there, but I wanted to share these replays. This deck is out of the new main box Judgement Force, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. We're going to be running a Neos Fusion variant today. Light Swords are another popular package that you can look into. Let's start off by talking about the main themes of the deck. One is OTK potential, or one turn kill potential. It's very common win condition for the deck. It's going to be centered around this card right here, Lunalight Cat Dancer. It's one of your boss monsters. You combo this with the other Lunalight's discard effects in order to set a monster to 0 with discard Lunalight Crimson Fox, and you're going to be able to tribute a Lunalight on the board with Cat Dancer in order to swing twice, so that's 4,800 damage plus 2 ticks of 100, that's 5,000 damage. Very easy OTKs, very common way that you're going to win with the deck. The second theme is that we have a big untargetable boss monster in Saber Dancer. The only caveat is in Turbo Duels, if they are running Jack Atlas's Duel Runner, they're going to be able to pop it with the EX skill. There's no real way around that, but that's something to keep in mind. This Lunalight Saber Dancer usually comes in around 3,600 attack, and it's a great way to go against certain meta decks that rely on targeting. And the third theme is the ability to recover resources naturally with the Lunalight abilities. Mostly the key player here is going to be Martin. Martin actually searches for Lunalight Fusion, which is the fusion spell that we'll be using. One thing to note about Lunalight Fusion is that if your opponent has an extra monster on the board, you can actually use a Lunalight card or material from your deck rather than your hand. So that's just a nifty boost. So you can use your deck as a toolbox. So let's go through the rest of the cards real quick. One Sphere Kribo, this is just defensive back-like option. You can replace this with any back row. The thing is that Lunalights tend to not be the best turn 1 deck, so you want a way to stave off those OTKs that are coming into you if you have to go turn 1. Next we have Martin. This is just a great way to recoup resources because it searches for your Lunalight Fusion, as well as the ability to bounce a Lunalight back to your hand, so you can use one less material than you usually would have to in order to get out your Lunalight boss monsters. Next we have access to 2 Keeper. I would run 3, but I only have 2. This is our way to get access to either Neos Fusion or Lunalight Fusion. It's just a great flexible card. 3 Crimson Fox. You can run 2 if you want. It's really up to preference. You can run an extra back row or something like that. Crimson Fox is a wonderful resource. One can set something to 0 attack, but in the graveyard you can actually banish it to protect one of your Lunalights from a targeted ability. The only thing to note is that both players will get 1,000 life points. This usually doesn't matter if you're going for an OTK, like we mentioned with Cat Dancer, because your Cat Dancer OTK does 5,000 damage, which means even if both players get 1,000, you'll still be able to OTK them. Next, you have access to 3 Emerald Birds. Emerald Bird plus a Martin in hand is actually a 2-card Cat Dancer, because Bird has the ability to discard a card and to draw a card, discard one of your Lunalight cards specifically. So you can discard Martin, go into Cat Dancer, it's a great card. It also recoups resources in order to get free tribute fodder for your Cat Dancer in order to get that double swing. I have 1 copy of White Rabbit. This is a tech option. You don't have to run this. This is a nice card to follow up plays. Maybe you don't win on the first time you set up your Lunalight board. This will get another Lunalight from the graveyard, as well as the ability to bounce back row in order to get through back row more easily. The rest of the deck is pretty self-explanatory. 1 copy of Neos and 2 Neos Fusion for the Neos Fusion package to combo with that Hebrew Dragon Magic that we mentioned earlier. 1 Cosmic Cyclone. This is just another way to deal with back row. Some cards like Power of the Guardians might be annoying. You can replace this with defensive back row if that's more your style. Obviously you want 3 copies of Lunalight Fusions because that's how you get to your boss monsters. Extra deck, 2 Brave Neos, 2 Saber Dancer, and 2 Cat Dancer. The only thing I would possibly consider is running only 1 Saber Dancer and 3 Cat Dancer, because sometimes I felt that getting Saber Dancer out is a little expensive if the enemy isn't running like a lot of extra deck monsters, but that usually isn't the case because there's a lot of people playing Shiranui, Blackwing, stuff like that. So usually your Lunalights are going to have the ability to use stuff from your deck as material. And in terms of skills, if you have access to Grit, I would probably run that. You don't really need the Tie-That Mines. This is Turbo Duels, so I don't have Grit on Jack Atlas, so I just went with a skill that was somewhat beneficial. And that's about it. We'll get into the replays. Alrighty, so this replay I'm actually not showing the deck list. It's the exact same deck, but I want to show something from the duel log real quick before we continue. Notice that the opponent is running Grit. If you didn't know, Grit, if you fall below obviously 4,000 life points, their life points actually get set to 1, so usually it defends them against an OTK, but we're going to show you how we actually get through this Grit. Our opponent passes, so we're going to try to OTK through Grit. We're going to go ahead and do our very powerful turn 1 board again. We're going to pitch our Neos in order to get Neos Fusion, and then we're going to do our Lunalight Fusion first. We don't really care about the positive effects here, we're just going to get 3 things to swing. If our opponent has no hand traps, we can still OTK through Grit. Next, we're going to bring back Neos with the second effect of Keeper, and then we're going to be able to finally use Neos Fusion in order to get our Brave Neos out. And then we're going to go ahead and get a little bit more resources. We're going to get a Fusion just in case we can't OTK them. Maybe they have a Kite Roid in hand. Swing once, swing twice, they go to 1 HP, but we're going to be able to swing again. So we're able to OTK through clear boards, even if the opponent has Grit. Alrighty, so this replay is going to show you the power of Crimson Fox, and let's get into it. Our opponent's going to set up with Shiranui. They're going to use level augmentation to get into their 10-star synchro. I believe it's Sun Saga. Alright, so I'm going to slow down for our play. I'm going to use Lunalight Fusion. I'm going to pitch a Fox, as well as, I believe, a Martin. That's going to let us set that Sun Saga to 0 attack. We're going to try to go for the OTK. We actually used an Emerald Bird. Emerald Bird's going to let us get back our Crimson Fox, and we're going to tribute it in order to get the double swing with Cat Dancer and go for the OTK. They actually have a World Legacy Clash. We're going to negate it using our Crimson Fox's ability to negate targeted effects. Both get 1,000 extra life points. Get a little bit of poke, but it's back at 3,500 attack now. Opponent follows up with a Squire. They're going to get out another tuner from the deck, the Spectral Sword, and they're going to go into a rank 5, I believe, or rank 6, sorry. And then they're going to swing in and swing in. Notice that our Cat Dancer cannot be destroyed by battle. So now we're going to use Emerald Bird and toss a Martin in order to get a Lunalight Fusion from our deck. We actually draw a second one. We're going to use Martin's ability to bounce back the Emerald Bird in order to conserve resources. Here we take advantage of Lunalight's Fusion other ability. If an enemy has an extra deck monster on the board, we can use 1 material from our deck, and we're going to send a Crimson, I believe, from the deck in order to lower one of the monsters' attack to 0. And that's also going to be nice because we're going to also have the ability to negate another targeted effect. We're going to boost up a little bit. Second World Legacy Clash, but once again, since we have that Crimson the grade, we can negate it. And we're just going to go ahead and swing. The Shiranui monster doesn't get destroyed because we tributed, and you have the first time a monster would be destroyed by battle, because of Cat Dancer's effect, they will not be destroyed. Take a bit of damage here, but I think we can come back from this. We're going to use Lunalight Fusion, and once again take advantage of the fact that they have an extra deck monster out. We're going to summon another Cat Dancer. And then another Crimson Fox. This is why I like playing 3, just because we can abuse its effect so many times. And we're going to get out a free Martin, and then we're going to negate the pop ability by using our Crimson Fox in the grave, and then we're just going to summon this Keeper of Dragon Magic just as a beat stick, just another thing that can swing in. We're going to boost up and then try to take out that 0 attack, and we win off of that. So really shows the power of Crimson Fox. It's not only great for setting things to 0 attack, but the follow-up negate on targeted abilities is just great. Alright, so this replay is going to show you the ability of making really powerful turn 1 boards if you get access to Neos Fusion and Keeper. Let's play it out. So our opponent's going to set, so it's going to be hard for us to OTK through this, but let's see how big of a board we can go. Get So Keeper is going to discard Neos, and that's going to get us our Lunalight Fusion. The thing is with Neos Fusion is that you have to resolve it last because you won't be able to special summon monsters otherwise. So which is why we do the Lunalight Fusion first. We're going to get the ability to recoup Lunalight Fusion because we used Martin as one of our fusion materials. Next, we use the second ability of Keeper in order to get Neos back on the board. Then we can use Neos Fusion in order to get our Brave Neos out. Now we have a pretty strong board. We're going to buff it up with Tie That Binds. This is probably going to take them out. We swing over, see that they're playing super heavy Samurais. They actually have a Kiteroid, so we can't quite close out the game just yet. Our opponent is going to do their setup plays. They're probably going to do a couple of synchro summons because they're playing super heavy Samurais. They actually use their Bike's ability to get a second normal summon out. We're just going to let this play out. Essentially, they're going to get a really beefy boss monster out. Alright, so they get a 4k defense monster and they poke us for 26. So how are we going to get it around this? Notice here that we can activate Lunalight Fusion, and since they have an extra deck monster out, we can actually use one of our materials from the deck. And we're going to summon out Saber Dancer, because we had one in our hand, one for free from Lunalight Fusion's effect, and then we used the existing Cat Dancer. That's going to get out a really big Saber Dancer. We're going to boost up with Tie That Binds. We're also going to use a little boost just in case. It's going to be defended by the extra shielded wall, and then obviously there's the Kiteroid. Our opponent only can top deck. They actually Lava Golem us, but we're at 1400, so we have just enough to survive, and we're just going to swing for the game. So that's just one of the options that you can do to make a really strong board if they do set a monster. So you can't really go for the OTK pattern that you usually want to do with Lunalight Cat Dancer. Hope you guys enjoyed the Lunalight replays. I'm really enjoying them as a sort of like a side deck that you can chase in the Judgement Force main box. It's really nice when you're just digging for like the URs, you kind of get the Lunalight deck, at least most of the Lunalights, just as something on the side. I think they are pretty strong. I don't think they're the most powerful meta deck, but they're definitely strong enough to be tiered. I think on Duel Links meta they're rated around tier 3 right now, and I kind of agree with that. They have a very fun OTK style, but their toolbox is a little bit limited. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to support the channel by subscribing, leaving a comment, or liking. It really helps out. And as always, I wish you the best of luck on the Duel Links ladder and in life. Until next time, peace.